Hey guys, it's Sam. It's been a couple of weeks and I'm in a different planner than you last saw me with. And that's been a struggle, and I didn't want to share it, and then I did want to share it, and then I didn't share it, and now I'm here. And I've had I don't know, a couple of weeks that have been just kind of feeling like a struggle. And sometimes I feel like sharing it, and sometimes I don't. And this time I just didn't feel like moderating comments or any of those things, and I just decided to put it all to the side and just work through this on my own this time. And I don't know if I've figured it out or not, but I'm trying. So I just wanted to check in with you guys and share what I'm up to. Um, so if you're new here, hi, my name is Sam, and I like to talk about stationery, planning, how I struggle with trying to be a journaler, and like the bags that I put my planners in. So welcome. And if you are not new here and you have been coming around for a while, thank you so much for your continued support and for always kind of cheering me on. So I have probably had the most planner hoppy, chaos filled year this year, and I'm going to continue to blame the Tomoe River paper because that really did just kind of mess everything up. But when I last shared a planner with you guys, I was using my large daily moleskin, and it's not the planner's fault that I am not in it. My needs changed, and that's okay. Sometimes I feel like using something different. Sometimes I really like to use a book-bound planner, and I was feeling the need to expand, and I did, and it was working really well until it wasn't. And I had the whole freak out panic of, well, if that's not working, then what is? Searching for something new. And thankfully, thank you, Lord, for not letting me buy anything. I put things in my cart and I contemplated, and I didn't buy anything. And I'm really, really grateful for that, because if you've been around here this year, you know I didn't need to buy one more thing than I already had. But I went back to my rings, which isn't very romantic mostly, but is so very functional. Um, I was feeling the stress. I guess I'm still kind of feeling the stress, and who knows what the root cause of that really is. But I was just feeling like I was writing too many things on sticky notes, and I didn't have a place to land them. And so usually if I'm feeling like I need to keep information, I put it in my rings, because I really love the idea of a bullet journal, and that's kind of ish what I was doing with the Daily Moleskin. But then I don't want to have to go back and look through information if it's related to something else. So I really like my sections. Um, but honestly, this is the first time I've had unkind comments in my comment section say things like, why are you even using a planner if it causes you so much stress? But I have never felt that way before. I have thought about leaving social media entirely, but this is the first time where I was like, what am I even doing with my life? And do I even need a planner? And I think the answer is yes. Um, but this is the first time that I really had that thought of, do I need a planner? Because this is just causing me too much stress, and I don't need stress in my life. But I kind of trusted my gut, and it doesn't matter to me if any planner that I'm using is popular or unpopular, or if I'm the only one using it. If there's one view on my videos, then I'll probably just pack it up and never do a video again. But that's not going to make me change the system that is working for me. And I was really thinking about why, because I had been using rings pretty consistently for a while, why I made the switch. And of course, there was I like to use a notebook, like a bound notebook, because it's nice and clean and the rings aren't in the way. And I like flipping through those pages. I really love the moleskin paper. But I was trying to remember what about the rings got like halted with my process. And I have been able to pinpoint exactly what it was. So I have usually just been like a yearly, monthly, and weekly planner. And I had included a daily section into this planner, but it was like really, it was just blank pages, and I was just using them as I go. I thought I had some around here. well, it's even more blank than this, but this is what I have to show right the second. Just a blank piece of paper, and I was just writing what I needed as long as I needed, and then I'd make the next date and move down. And then I was like, well, I'm being so consistent with my daily planning that of course I need an insert. And this isn't a bad insert, but this is, I think, where the downfall was of the planning, because unstructured was working so well for me. And then I decided to improve upon it, and then I just kind of like, ugh, and I fell off. So I probably should have stuck to what I had, but I didn't. So I think that that's where the downfall came. Seeing the wide open blank moleskin really just appealed to me in the moment. I'll probably go back to that planner at some point this year, but for now, like I said, the rings is definitely doing it. So I just kind of wanted to show you how I'm using my planner, and I had wanted to update you guys on the fact that I definitely had a little planner meltdown and kind of talk through all of that. So let's do this, I guess. So I'm using my rings the same way I usually use the rings. I have my, I like to have my dates up front here. I always think I'm going to use this, and then I never do. I have a shopping list that I took to the grocery store today, and an inbox that I barely ever use. I try to keep Post-its here, there, and everywhere, just in case. I'm using the Filofax dated monthlies, which I really, really like these a lot. These are working really well. I really like the Filofax paper. It's been very drama-free, unlike the Hobonichi and other such planners. I've been using this particular insert from Peanuts Planner Co. for a long time now. This is a custom that's based on a freebie that you can find in her Facebook group. But I really, 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 really love this one. It works for my brain. Everything clicks. I have actually thought about scaling down the ring size of the binder that I'm in and simplifying this even more, but I just don't want to buy anything else, and this is working just fine. So yeah, this one is working really well. And I do have my June dailies in here, but I have added these blanks just in case, because if this is what I'm going to lean on for dailies, then I will, and it'll be here. But I do have this particular insert, which is, I think, Marcia Bramushi on Etsy. I think that's how you say her name, but these are really nice, and I like them a lot. But they are tricky for me to print, so I have my rules for printing these here. These little divider, what is this? Acetate? I don't know the names of these things. These are from Peanuts Planner Co.'s website. And then my dividers are from Soft Paper Studio is what she's going by now. This is also part of that bundle, I think, from Peanuts Planner Co. And this is where I have been keeping track of my workouts, but we went out of town and I haven't updated this since. And that was the other thing that's kind of happened in the last week. So we knew that we were taking this trip. We went to see Metallica again, but this time we took my father-in-law and my brother-in-law along with us. And this is the first time that we have shared Metallica with anybody. And we had a lot of memories and, you know, pictures and ephemera and all this stuff. And I've fallen off journaling. Surprise. I have been loosely trying to keep up with my Hobonichi weeks, but I'm like, where do I put these memories? Because that's not how I identify with rings. It's basic function for me and not like a memory keeper as much. And if I'm falling off my journaling, you know, does it go in my junk journal? I really do enjoy my TN insert, but we haven't done anything else. So I rarely update it. And then I have these weird thoughts of, well, that's my junk journal. Do my family memories go with the junk journal? And it's like overwhelm and overload. Overload? Yeah, it's just a lot of stress. And so I haven't done anything with the memories yet. And that's also not the right thing to do. So I'm just not sure what I'm doing. This is an insert from Filofax. And this is going to replace an insert that I was using to put like symptoms. So I had like a page on for each month for like symptoms and health stuff. And I wanted them all together. And so I bought this insert from Filofax. For that, I have my cycle tracker, and then I have some notes. And this is, so this is kind of what started this. I'm taking notes from another book. I'm trying to stay on my health journey, but not be so restrictive, like keto, carnivore, that kind of thing. And so I was taking notes, and I was like, well, I want all these notes to be together, but that wasn't working for me in my moleskin. It wasn't the planner's fault, but I wanted to be able to grab a piece of paper, write a bunch of stuff down, and then put it with like things. And that is one of the reasons why Rings works so good for me. It's just very reliable. I have my trackers in here. Some of these I've not been very good about keeping up with, but I love to have the trackers in the Rings because I severely dislike trying to make any kind of tracker in a Hobonichi, even though that would be like the one book that I would love to keep up with for the year would be the Hobonichi because I love flipping through it. But I am not going to make all of these checklists or trackers in there. I don't like the way it looks. I'm not going to paste things into that planner, and so I don't. But I like having these things in Rings, and I can't remember if this is from Perfectionism Prince or Simple and Trendy Co. Probably one of those, but this is just movies and TVs and movie and TV and book lists. And then I have some blank trackers in here and some trackers that need to be updated for this year that I didn't use last year. Meal planning from Peanuts Planner Co. that I don't ever do anymore. And then this is kind of my trash notes and other random stuff that I like to keep with me. And I like that I can just stick all of these together and I don't have to go hunting through a larger book to find them. Rings, it might not be popular and it might not be glamorous looking or artsy or anything like that, but you cannot beat the function of these books, in my opinion. So I stick with it. I like that I can keep all of this stuff. And especially for the more like standard sizes, like pocket and personal and A5, you can find all of the accessories to go with it. I like this little pocket. This is from Catspresso Co., I think. But this has, I mean, this is helpful for me. This has basically all of our walls are this color of paint. This is a color that I really considered using for something, but I haven't yet. And then this is my bedroom wall, ceiling, all the things, paint. And this is just really helpful if you're going out to choose furniture or a rug or whatever to be able to see colors that you have in your home. And then just some random receipts and a page lifter, receipts from our trip that I need to put somewhere in some kind of memory keeping system. And then the Filofax original, I don't know if they still come with a paper pad in them, but they used to. I really like the Filofax original because it's so simple and it's not chunky. It doesn't have a bunch of pockets that I'm not using or the back pocket that I rarely use. I wish that they would kind of add to this line. Still forever kicking myself for some of the colors that I've let go from this collection because it's probably one of my 3 most favorite leather covers. I love my one from Sojourner, and I love my Filofax Malden, and then the Filofax original. And I have like at least 4 colors that I have parted ways with that I'd love to have back in my collection, but they're really hard to come by now. I wish that Filofax would. I feel like they focus so much now on not quality things, and I really wish that they would focus on their higher quality items and their more popular lines. I think that serious planners would be really happy to see those things back in their lineup. So this is where I am right now. Tomorrow, who knows? There's no promises here. I'm definitely not telling you that I'm going to be consistent in anything. I like the idea of it, but then I get bored or then circumstances change. And I'm sure that you go through that as well. You're definitely not going to get any judgment here. I just don't want to buy anything else this year. as far as like a new planner system. And I almost did over the last week. I added things to my cart and I didn't check out. And I'm really proud of myself and really relieved for that, because then I would just have other emotions to deal with when I have things in hand that I didn't need. So yeah, that's my update for today. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Yeah, if you stuck around this long, I can't wait to talk to you in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're new around here and don't want to miss out on future videos, please consider subscribing. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope to see you again soon. Bye, guys.